والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Imran, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This beautiful verse in Surah Al-Imran, the third surah in the Quran, it says, سَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, and hasten, rush, compete, quick, come to your Lord, hasten. This is almost the only place that Allah used this expression, سَارِعُوا. This is the place where you need to compete with others. To compete for what? Seeking the forgiveness and acceptance of your Lord. And this acceptance and forgiveness will lead you to a paradise. Allah says, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ, and a paradise as vast as the whole universe. عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ. The paradise as vast as the whole universe, and maybe much more than that. And you know the universe, how big the universe is? I guess the experts can tell us that what we know, or what we think, the borders of the universe that we know is over 140 billion light years. And it's much more than that. And this is the first level of the heavens. Because wherever there are stars, this is the first level. The paradise is much bigger than that and much wider than that. So everyone has a place in paradise. So if all compete and all win, all will have place. It's not like only the first winners that will reach paradise and they will occupy the place. No, if everyone from the beginning to the end compete and find their way to the end, they will occupy that place, which is Al-Jannah, the paradise, that is very wide and it's not like any other place. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described it as أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. It is prepared, it's ready. Jannah is prepared and ready to receive Al-Muttaqeen. Be careful about this word Al-Muttaqeen, because this is repeated somewhere else and we'll refer to it now. أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. It's prepared for the righteous. Al-Muttaqeen are the righteous, the pious people. This word is repeated somewhere which is relevant to us in Ramadan. You remember that? Ramadan, Allah described it as لَعَلَّكُمْ. He said fast, so you may attain taqwa, so you may be of the muttaqeen. So if you fast properly and you become of the muttaqeen, that's where you will end up, in the Jannah. Al-Muttaqeen is great position. Al-Muttaqeen, Al-Taqwa is the best place that you can attain. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is what is Jannah for these people, Al-Muttaqeen. So rush to it, hasten, compete with others to reach that place. The Prophet this verse implies that there is something that should encourage you to speed up, to hasten, to compete with others. That means there are times that will allow you to do that. And Ramadan, of course, is of the best of these times. Ramadan is the best time to compete for gaining this taqwa and acceptance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet, until they live in Ramadan and not get forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَوَيْلٌ لِمَنْ أَدْرَكَ رَمَضَانَ وَلَمْ يُغْفَرْ لَهُ. Woe to the one who arrives Ramadan and not getting forgiven in this Ramadan. So when you have a chance of Ramadan, you should use it. Use it to the best of your abilities to get forgiven and to get of those who are pious. And Ramadan is full of acts of worship and good deeds that will qualify you for that. Ramadan is the time of fasting, the time of giving sadaqah, the time of prayers. This is Ramadan should have its own a portion of salah, of reciting the Quran, of giving sadaqah, of giving zakah, of giving all sorts of good deeds in Ramadan, because this is the season, this is the time. So Ramadan is your chance to hasten to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, don't be of those who start the race well and they get lazier towards the end of the race. Don't be of those who, when you are in a race, if you are in a marathon, if you are in a race, people who are not well acquainted of the type of race, of the nature of races, they will start very active and they will start getting weaker and lazier towards the end of the race. The Prophet ﷺ says, be careful about that. So don't start Ramadan very active and then towards the end of Ramadan you get slack. Ramadan, the masjid is full, people coming, people reciting the Quran, doing their salah and doing the good deeds. And towards the other half of Ramadan, we starting getting less and less visitors to the masjid and to the good actions. The Prophet ﷺ says, be careful, don't be of those. Have you seen people in the marathon? At the beginning there are hundreds starting, at the end there are only few, handful only finish the race, right? Unfortunately this is natural, correct? Don't do that in Ramadan. Don't do that in your way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep the same pace. And the Prophet ﷺ gave us some clues how to do that. He said, don't overdo things. Do something steadily and consistently. Do something that you can take all the way. Don't kill yourself at the beginning so you cannot continue the race. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ الْمُنْبَتْ لَا ظَهْرًا أَبْقَى وَلَا أَرْضًا قَطَعًا. The one, if you are riding a horse or a camel and you hit it very hard to run very quick, it will help you only in a short distance, but it cannot go too far. So the Prophet says, this is what you shouldn't do to yourself. If you try to torture your animal, it will only take you for a short distance and it cannot take you much further. It's just like we mentioned last time, like the lions and the tigers, they could run very quick, but only for a short distance, and they cannot overrun the deers and other animals, because the others can run long distance, but the lions and so on, they can run very quick, very fast, short distance. And if the other animal could keep the pace, they can run away from them. That's what the Prophet says. Don't do that to yourself. Keep good pace and keep going at the same speed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Means keep doing the good deeds. Don't start by giving a lot of ibadah and then stop everything or most of it. Right? So the Prophet ﷺ saying, Ramadan, keep going until the end. Because you know what? The prize is at the end waiting for you. Al-a'mal, at the conclusion. At the end, the prizes will be distributed. At the end means end of Ramadan. And at the end is in the hereafter. So meet Allah with some good collection of good deeds. So this Ramadan is a season. And at the end, you should have the same activity, the same guts of doing good and coming to Allah willingly, and don't get the angels to miss you at the doors of the masjid, at the corner of your home where you used to recite the Quran. Don't let the good people miss your good calls. Don't let the community miss your good efforts. Do it. Do something that will keep you going for a long time, and you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of the muttaqeen, of the righteous, those who are qualified to reach paradise that is as vast as this whole universe. That's the first part of the khutbah. In the other part, the Imam highlighted the zakah. And I will summarize this for you because this took a long part of the speech of the Imam before and after the khutbah. He mentioned zakat. Ramadan is a good time to give your zakat, right? To give your zakat. But calculating zakat and distributing zakat is a must for everyone to know. So zakat is a 2.5% minimum because some other types of money entails more than that, like people who have livestock, people who have crops and they grow certain crops, they would have to pay more than that. But generally, most of us have cash money and similar, so we pay 2.5%. So one portion out of 40. That's why he said divide it by 40 and give one portion. So it's 2.5%, right? Now, zakah is to be paid once a year. When you have a threshold, and the threshold he mentioned is about 1,000 riyals. If you have 1,000 riyals and above, at the time you calculate your zakah, you need to pay this zakah, right? Now, that's clear. Second is where to give this zakah. The zakah has specific categories to be given to. It's not you give it to anybody. You cannot give it also to your own parents or children because these people are your immediate dependents. So they have to be given from your immediate money, from your core of your money. But the zakat to be given to one of these 8 categories as mentioned in the Quran. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلفة قلوبهم والغارمين وفي الرقاب وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل. There are 8 categories, and these are the only categories that qualify for zakat. The only ones you can give zakat. So you cannot give zakat to someone whom you don't know if they are really qualified for zakat. You cannot give him to someone asking outside of the masjid where you don't know about them. You have to know the real need of the person you give zakat. You can give anyone your sadaqah. The general sadaqah you can give it to anyone you want. But zakat, the mandatory zakat has to be given to one of these categories. If you cannot know any of them, if you don't know them for well, you have to go to one of the institutions that you trust that distribute zakat in this country or any country. You give them your zakat and they will distribute it to their people who deserve it. Another final comment from the Imam is those who ask in the masjid. He said this is not appropriate. The masjid is not meant as a place for begging or asking people for money. No one should ask in the masjid. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ once have seen someone asking people for something he lost in the masjid. Did you find my whatever stuff? So the Prophet ﷺ interrupted that person and said, don't ask in the masjid, may Allah not make you find your stuff. He prayed against that person's wish because he was asking in the masjid. He said the masjid is not to disturb people like that. You don't ask in the masjid. You don't ask for your needs. You don't ask people for money in the masjid. The masjid is a place of worship, the place of peace, where people should not disturb others by asking for money. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the straight path. May Allah give us the power to make use of this Ramadan, to hasten to Allah and to get His forgiveness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make peace prevail in this land and in Yemen, in Palestine, and in Syria, and in Libya, and all around the world. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa barik ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi.